Steve, it's good to see you. You've named your squad ahead of the upcoming games against the Netherlands and Northern Ireland. Let's start with the news first, that the captain is back. Andy Robertson returns. How much of a boost is it to have your captain return in the run-up to the Euros?
Yeah, it's always a boost to get your best players back, your top players. Andy's obviously very important to us, as is Kieran coming back. Grant Hanley's back in the squad, Angus Gunn's back in the squad. So we've got a few coming back that we didn't have last camp. But obviously on the flip side, there's also boys that are going to be missing out this time as well. So it's good to have, I think, a pretty strong squad going into these two friendly matches, and a lot for us to work on pre the Euros.
You mentioned it there are a number of players coming back, which is fantastic news. One of them, Kieran Tierney, Craig Gordon, two players that have got huge amounts of experience playing at the top level. How important is that when you're looking to drive the standards up as much as possible going into a major tournament?
No, for now is to get them in. The boys that have obviously missed a few camps. Obviously Craig's been out a long time. It's just nice to get Craig back involved again. Obviously 4 goalkeepers in the squad, only 3 can go to the Euros, so immediately there's a challenge there for all 4. Kieran coming back is good. He's had a mixed season with injuries out in Spain, but by and large he's been great for Scotland when he's been here, so hopefully that will continue again.
Looking at Craig Gordon specifically, he suffered such a horrific injury back in 2022, but he was always determined to make it back into your squad. What does that say about the character of Craig?
No, listen, Craig's record's there to be seen by everybody. I knew when he picked up the injury and I spoke to him, he was determined to come back. It's been a long process. Probably feels within himself that he's still working to get back to where he can be and where he hopes to be. So it's good to have Craig in the squad. It's also good to have Angus Gunn back in the squad. Don't forget Angus missed the November games. So, like I said, quite a lot of injured players coming back into the squad this time. Although we're missing a few as well that they're going to miss out on this camp, then the ideal for me is to get to the beginning of May and have everybody to select from, and then I've got a lot of problems.
And another one coming back, Grant Hanley, who you mentioned there as well, who's approaching 50 caps. I know we're talking a lot about how much of a boost is it to get them back, but I know Grant's a player that you really value. Yeah,
Grant was one of the ones that came back involved in my time. He'd been away from the international scene for a while, came back in. He's steady experienced player, good in the squad. A player that I call a man. He's a man. You know what you're going to get for Grant game to game. And it'll be good to have him back in the squad. He also had a very long-term injury that he's worked ever so hard to come back from. Playing pretty irregular back at his club at Norwich, and yeah, it'd be nice to see him again.
You mentioned some of the players that are missing out this time as well. One of them is Callum McGregor. Obviously he misses out on this camp, but you'll be hopeful you'll be able to get him back in the run-in towards the summer.
Yeah, that would be the plan. Obviously disappointing to lose Callum for this camp, but if he's, like I say, if he's fit and available at the start of May, then I've got decisions to make going into the summer. Disappointing also, Aaron Hickey's not here, Jacob Brown's not here. So we've got players missing. Ryan Jack's just picked up another injury that's put him out of the squad as well. So a lot of the boys that have been involved with me are still not available. So, like I said before, ideal for me is to get to May with everybody fit and available, and then I have to make the selection.
If we turn our focus to the games ahead now, 2 positive results aside, as the head coach, what else do you look for from these 2 fixtures as you look ahead to name your squad for the Euros in the summer?
Probably consistency of performance. I believe that if we perform as well as we can in the upcoming matches, we should get positive results. We want positive results going into the tournament in the summer, and these 2 games are the first 2 chances to do that.
Is that one of the key things? You know, another tough opponent in the Netherlands, but trying to recapture that consistency and performance that we've seen throughout qualifying.
Yeah, and also a tough opponent in Northern Ireland. Everybody looks at Northern Ireland and thinks, oh, Scotland should win that one, but it's not so easy. You know, every opponent at this level is difficult. So we expect 2 tough matches. I'll have a chance to look at 1 or 2 different things with the Euros in mind. But obviously we want to start winning matches again. It's been a while since we won a game, and I'd quite like to put that right this month.
You mentioned the Northern Ireland game as well. That's here at home at Hampden. another opportunity to perform in front of a full house here in the context of the back-to-back qualification, and not being able to perform in front of as many fans as you would want to last time. How important is it to get out there and maintain that bond, which is really strong between this group and the Scotland fans?
Yeah, I think it's one of the achievements of this group of players that they've got the Tartan Army back on side. Some of the atmospheres, some of the games here at Hampden over the last couple of years have been pretty special, and we hope to add a few more games to that in the coming year.